Yo, what is up everyone? Yoda2003 here, and today we're looking at LEGO Star Wars the video game in a whole new light. More specifically, we're checking out the last level of the game named Darth Vader, and taking our faithful assistant, Yoda, out of bounds for a bit. So what are we waiting for? Let's get started. First up, we have Vader A, aka the first segment of the level. It turns out that right off the bat, if you go backwards instead of forwards, you can access this sort of hangar area. It appears that this area used to be completely playable, according to footage from Game Hut's Extra Life livestream, where John shows gameplay footage of an old prototype version of the Vader level. What we see in the final game appears to be just a remnant of that phase of the level's development. Moving on down the hallway, there's another unused hallway that's perpendicular to the play area. What's even more interesting is the fact that there's interactable force objects inside of it as well. Far above the play area, we see these little Lego pieces. These actually appear in normal gameplay as little debris that bounce around. I'm guessing that the purpose for having this geometry outside of the level is so that the game already has it loaded in for when it needs to be used. Even further up, we see this strange arrangement of tan-colored geometry, which in my mind strangely resembles a structure seen in a later part of the level. All I can think of this being used for is just temporary placeholder geometry that the programmers would use while they waited for the modelers to finish their work. Further up still, there's what appears to be a bunch of copies of the door geometry that is used in the level. No clue why this is here. At around the same height, there's a copy of the hallway cap that we saw earlier in this video. This useless floating geometry is commonplace for this level, so expect to see a lot more of this kind of thing throughout the video. Much further away from the main play area, there's this floating geometry that resembles the floor that is used during the opening cutscene of this level. Although, that is not the case. I found some footage from the same livestream I mentioned before, where there is a segment of the level that appears to share the same geometry with what we see out of bounds here in the final game. It seems that it was intended to resemble the room where Anakin kills all of the Trade Federation leaders. Honestly, I'm glad that didn't make it into the final game, seeing that it's meant for kids. Moving on to Vader B, the thing that stuck out to me the most is the fact that the cutscene that plays before this segment of the level actually happens within the same map. The playable boundaries of this part of the level are very strict, so I had to use Cheat Engine with the PC version of the game to get my character to this part of the level. The best part is that this geometry is fully collidable, so you can jump around there as much as you want. Next up, we're going down low by the lava. Actually, there's a glitch that can get you down here in normal gameplay, but to make it easier on myself, I just used the lift player cheat in the debug menu. This pretty much speaks for itself, and again, this part of the level is seen in the succeeding cutscene. Another thing I thought I'd mention is that the underside of the level looks really interesting. Going way up high now, we see this metal cheese wedge looking thing along with this set of pipes. Nothing too interesting about these, other than the fact that they can be seen in other parts of the level during normal gameplay. Even higher up is what appears to be a replica of the geometry in the level below, although it's missing all the platforms, buttons, etc. that we see in the actual level. The most notable thing in my opinion is the fact that my character can stand on this large block here, although this happens. Moving on to the last segment of the level, Vader C, you'll notice right away that there's plenty of unused geometry outside of the level bounds. This large cluster of geometry consists of what I can only assume is prototype geometry for this level. The largest of the bunch is this tower, and although it's extremely similar to the one seen in normal gameplay, there are a few differences. There is also what appears to be some more of the type of temporary geometry that I described earlier, as well as a few platform models that are seen in the level. A little further up there's this interesting handle shape, and some white boxes. Moving upwards we see yet another copy of the same geometry we saw in Vader B, so there's nothing new here other than the fact that there's no collision whatsoever. A little ways away from there is some fully collidable geometry that resembles the lava collection arms in the movie. I find it odd that there would be full collision and finished geometry so far away from the rest of the level. After having a little fun with this, okay, probably way too much fun, I found this dome above the arm that appears to be a smaller version of the Sky Dome. A bit further over, we also see a version of the lava collecting arm made entirely out of geometry primitives. Really weird. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Darth Vader level. If you guys enjoy... Wait. Lego Yoda, be careful, man. You're gonna... No! So yeah guys, that's pretty much it for this level and this video. I plan to make more videos like this, so if you liked it, let me know in the comments section and leave a like as well. Oh yeah, also subscribe. See ya!